Well, hey folks, relaunch Super German Villains, my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Road to Power Struggle Night 1 event. Thumbs up for this. Very enjoyable show. Big thank you, Jen, for sending me that. Super Junior Tag League has started. It's round robin tournament style this time, as opposed to single elimination in previous years. English commentary by Rocky Romero and Kevin Kelly until Rocky left to join his boys Sho and Yoh for the main event. Beretta decided to join in and actually did pretty well. He seemed a little nervous at first, but I thought he did just fine. Taichi and Will Ospreay will not be on this Road to Power Struggle tour due to a rib injury that Will Ospreay suffered. They're trying to preserve that never open weight match that's going to be happening on November 3rd. So unfortunately, we won't get to see Miho, but at least hopefully Will Ospreay recovers and we don't have to have somebody else sub in, as that's going to be a very fun match. But yeah, so I do want to say in the very beginning that there's this show, the show tomorrow for the 17th, the 26th, the 27th, the 1st, which is the last Road to Power Struggle show. And then obviously Power Struggle I will be reviewing live. There are VOD episodes sprinkled in, in between the live shows and everything. So if I'm unable to review every single one of those like I did for the Best of Super Juniors, those VOD editions, I apologize. My time is going to be limited on some of those days. We will see. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see me review those, and I will do my best, but if I can't, I just want to apologize right off the bat, and I will update you guys for tomorrow and for, subsequent reviews. So you guys may see a couple of those pop up if I don't review every single episode, which will just be the tournament matches. I do apologize ahead of time. So anyway, let's get cracking on with some Young Lions and Hanare in a opening six-man tag. You had Ren Narita, Shota Umino, and Hanare versus Yuya, Yota, and Ayato Yoshida. This is a good match. It was actually really entertaining. I mean, the Young Lions still, with their limited movesets, you usually can tell a pretty good story. You can tell the the Japanese fans appreciate what the Young Lions can do. There were good exchanges. Really good power from Yota and Hanare. That was a really good exchange. I really like that. They did well. Hanare, I really do see big things with him. I don't know if I know I've sung his praises on these reviews, especially since, as I've gotten, more into reviewing New Japan Live. I just see big things in Hanare. I'd kind of like to know what you guys think. But everyone did well. Yoshida really is good. He really has a varied style. I really appreciate that. He's very fast. It was a good Boston Crab exchange. And then you had Narita tap out Yuya, and that was good stuff. It was a really good opening match with the Young Lions. I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular. If you don't see it, you're not missing anything. But it is nice to see these Young Lions do so well. In front of a really hot Korakuen Hall crowd. They were really hot tonight, especially for that main event. And I do want to point out, yes, of course, I'm going to selfishly say there were a few, there were quite a few beautiful women sprinkled out throughout this crowd. It made for nice crowd shots, I'll say that much. But the crowd was really, really intense, very energetic. And then you have Tanahashi, Hanma, and Makabe, Han Makabe, if you will, versus Ibushi, Yujiro, and Chase Owens. Then you had Tanahashi. It was basically, them revisiting the whole G1 finals with Tanahashi and Ibushi, and of course, hyping up Tanahashi and Omega. That's especially on commentary. Omega was not there at ringside, obviously, but still, it was good stuff. Ibushi seems conflicted, and I kind of like the story that they're telling, that maybe Ibushi could be challenging Omega or Tanahashi for the title, depending on who wins at Wrestle Kingdom. And yeah, Hanma selling a lot. He was beat up a lot. I really cringe seeing him hold his neck, as I know he's trying to rebuild his body after the numerous injuries that he suffered. He did hit Kokeshi at one point, which was pretty nice. Hanma seems like a really, really good, likable guy. I just cringe seeing him hold his neck. But credit to him for getting back in the ring. There's some good stuff. You had Makabe just hitting these insane clotheslines. The guy is just super strong. Has been super over for a while. I think he's in his early 40s, and the guy's still just as powerful as he ever was. There are big moves. Everybody hits a move. Then that guy gets hit by a move. This kind of stuff. Boom, boom, boom. And six-man high fly flow. And Tanahashi gets the pin for the 1, 2, 3. And there we go. That was an entertaining six-man match. I mean, big shock. Of course, Owens took the fall. Owens, by and large, always seems to be taking the fall now in these six-man tags. I say that, and watch, he's going to pick up the victory in the next one tomorrow. And then you had Chaos versus Bullet Club, which was really just a hype Okada and Jay White. And you had the best friends, Chucky T and Beretta, and Yano and Okada. versus Tamatonga, Bad Luck Fale, Tongaloa, and Jay White. And Gato and Jado were there. Jado had a bandana across his mouth and had a cane. That came into play a little bit later. There was expected antics from Bullet Club, and boy, they're really doing a good job making like Jay White hated without pushing him immediately to the main event. Now, facing Okada at Wrestle Kingdom is a big goddamn deal and is going to be big for him, even if he doesn't win. I think he should. I don't know if he will. We'll find out. We're only about 2.5 months away from Wrestle Kingdom. Can you believe it? Oh my God, I'm already so goddamn hyped for that. I watch both New Japan and WWE, and I'm more hyped for Wrestle Kingdom than I am for anything that's going to be on WWE docket for the rest of the year. So, anyway, enough of that. There were a lot of boos for Bullet Club, but boy, this is the right kind of heat. They're really, really mad. Beretta is just insanely smooth in the ring. My God, that guy just hitting some dives, just crisp offense. The guy's really damn good. Match, of course, breaks down as you would expect. You had a low blow, while, Tiger Hattori was distracted. Big shock. I mean, Tiger Hattori getting distracted. And then Blade Runner, of course, Chucky T. The instant I saw this lineup, I said, well, Chucky T's taking the pinfall. Because of course he is. Because Bullet Club's got to win. You're not going to have Okada take the pinfall. Yano, I don't think, is going to take it. So you're just going to have Chucky T take it. I mean, he can. He can take it. And then 1, 2, 3. More boos and everything. But Jay White's being sent, up, like, on the proper ascent without going for the main title just yet. Maybe Wrestle Kingdom 14. It's very possible he could be in the main event, but we'll see. So, good 8-man tag. And then we get to the Super Junior Tag League. Jushin Thunder Liger and Tiger Mask, if you will, versus Ishimori and Robbie Eagles. I had only heard of the name Robbie Eagles. I had not seen him in action before. There was one person, I forget your name exactly. If you happen to be watching this review, thank you, but it said prepare yourself, meaning, in a positive way. I will say this, I'm going to be interested to see what he does in the rest of this tournament. I mean, he had some good moves, and I'll get to those in a bit. Ishimori was grounding Liger. You had some good tag work. You had, I hope Liger's leg is okay, because he really did seem to be limping. I mean, I'm sure he was just selling, but after the match, he was being helped to the back, and I'm like, God, I hope he's okay. I mean, the man's 53, 54, or I think actually 54 years old. So it's not like, if this injury, if he had to retire, like, say, after Wrestle Kingdom, this coming year, that it would be, that it's not like he hasn't done, like, a lot of great things in his career. But I just hope his leg is okay, because I hate seeing any talent injured. Eagles did have a good showing. He really did. I can see why people like him. He hit some good aerial moves. Hit a really, really nice leg lock. Rob Miller special, I believe, is what Kevin Kelly called it, but nice, rolling leg lock and everything. And Liger tapped out. And that's a big deal. I mean, even Liger at this stage of his career, even though he can still move well, and he's obviously not what he was, that's a big move, and that speaks a lot to how Liger's willing to do business and New Japan's willing to, like, put a team over. Eagles got a pretty good, solid, like, pat on the back right there. And some praise by being able to tap out a legend like Liger. So, yeah, it was decent. It wasn't a great match, but it was decent. And there were some good exchanges in it. There was this one cool spot, though, where Tiger Mask gets this, like, nice arm drag off the top. That was pretty good. And then transitioned into an arm lock. That was really, really good stuff. And then you have ACH and Taguchi versus Volador Jr. and Soberano Jr. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with a lot of, luchador names and Japanese names, because I screwed some up before. But you have Taguchi and ACH in rugby gear, and that was cool. They were doing their antics. There were a lot of ass antics in this big shock in a Taguchi match. Still fun. It was fun for what it was. Great showing for all four guys. The two CMLL guys did really, really well. You had tons of flippy shit. Of course, you had top rope hurricanrana by Volador Jr., and he got the victory. And that was fine. This was a little bit better than the previous match. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, the antics may have gotten but it was still fun. And Taguchi and ACH do work well together. They have teamed together in the past, and you can tell they have really good chemistry in the ring. And Volador Jr. and Soberano Jr. did well. I really hope I got those names right, but they did very, very well. And during the beginning where Beretta came out for commentary after Rocky Romero left after this match, Beretta challenged Cody for the U.S. title. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen at Power Struggle. I don't know if that's going to happen at the U.S. show that they're going to be doing later. Probably Power Struggle. I'm all for it. Beretta doesn't have to win unless they want to make Cody a transitional champion. But that'll be a good match. Beretta versus Cody would be a very, very good match for the U.S. title. And then Kushida and Sabin versus El Desperado and Kanemaru, the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. So any team really that beats them, much like in the G1, if you beat a current champion, you get a title shot later. Even though they kind of mucked all that up with the U.S. title by having Juice take a bunch of losses and then lose the title to Cody soon after. But they did do it with Ishii and Omega. But anyway, so if Kanemaru and El Desperado take a loss, then whatever team beats them would be vaulted right in the #1 contendership. Suzuki-gun members, of course, Kanemaru and Desperado jump the gun for the bell. There's some good arm focus by Sabin and Kushida. There's outside action with the chairs. Big shock, Suzuki-gun members using chairs. The action picks up. Sabin just does this insane series of moves. He just hit moves in the ring, just smooth transition right to the outside, hitting a suicide dive through the ropes. Really good stuff. Sabin, my God, that guy, he's wrestled for how many years? Almost 20 years. Well, 15, 20 years. That guy is just really, really good. He is really damn good. Him and Shelley were a hell of a tag team in Impact. But him and Kushida have teamed up before. I don't know how often, but they really did well here. You did have a ref bump, of course. You have Kanemaru with a Centauri special, I believe it's called, with whiskey in the eyes. Sabin gets blinded. Pinche Loco for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And El Desperado gets the victory by dirty shenanigans as opposed to any other shenanigans. So yeah, there you go. You have it doesn't make it, since Sabin took the fall that way. It protects Kushida because he's the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion after winning it at King of Pro Wrestling. By the way, you can check out that review if you'd like. Really enjoyed reviewing that one. And then we get to the main event. Rocky Romero accompanying Sho and Yoh to the ring. The crowd was really on fire for this. To face Shingo, the newest member of LIJ, and Bushi. Everybody seems to hate Bushi, and I'm not sure why. I don't get it. Beretta doesn't like him. Rocky Romero doesn't like him. Why don't people like Bushi? I like Bushi. I don't get it. But anyway, high energy from the crowd. Shingo massively over, and very, very good combination of strength and power. Seriously, I'm very impressed with this guy. I may have to go back and check out some of his Dragon Gate stuff if I can find any on YouTube, or maybe even check out some of the stuff on the Dragon Gate website if they have a streaming service. I'm not sure. I'll have to find out about that. Everyone really did just super well. There was action in the crowd. You had the East-West connection where, a team bashes the opposing team's members into the East and West sides of Korakuen Hall. And Korakuen Hall, one of the loudest venues, I think, in the world. Honestly, the crowd is just tremendous. And it's not a very big crowd. I think it's 1,500, 2,000 people at the most that can fit in that place if you fill it to capacity. There were some hard chops, especially a hard chop exchange between Sho and Shingo. Shogo, if you want to go with that. Don't. That was a stupid name. I'm sorry. Double Hurricanrana on both Sho and Yoh by Bushi. It looked like Sho landed a little awkwardly. Hopefully he's okay. There were stereo dives soon after by Sho and Yoh. Really good stuff. Good series of near falls. I actually thought Sho and Yoh were going to get the victory and pin Bushi. For Bushi always seems to take the pins in these matches. But instead of Last of the Valkyries, you have Last of the Dragon, or Dragons. I think Last of the Dragons. 1, 2, 3. Shingo gets the victory, and that was good stuff. Him and Bushi cut very brief promos. And then you have all members of LIJ and Evil holding Hiromu's jacket come out to celebrate. That was good stuff. It was a nice way, since I believe they had to cancel a match that Ospreay might have been involved in, or, well, that maybe they couldn't fit, Naito, Sonata, and Evil on the card because they're trying to preserve them for Power Struggle, especially Naito and Evil. That was good stuff, though. That was good stuff. I'm going to say a B. The Super Junior Tag League matches certainly elevated this, especially that main event. If you see nothing else on this card, Sho and Yoh versus Shingo and Bushi is certainly worth it. So anyway, Again, I'll see what I can do about the VOD episodes if I'm able to, if they're uploaded at a reasonable time, and if I'm not busy. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, I will be here for tomorrow's show, for the live show. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the Super Junior Tag League tournament so far? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. It's been real awesome with John Wetland, and I will see you soon.